as a psyop to see what they can get away with. I mean, we got up here with medical doctors, scientists, medical managers, constitutional lawyers. We read the subsections of the bill. Thousands of pages. And then they added more than 10,000 pages of writers. And we would read the subsection where they set up the death panels, the bioethics panels that would not give you care, and what they're already doing at the VA, and where they created 21 new taxes, 7 of them on people at or below the poverty line, payroll taxes, the list goes on. And it was clearly designed to wreck health care. And then Ezekiel Emanuel comes out on Fox and goes, yeah, it is. And then Bill Gates comes out and says, yeah, it is a death panel. We have those clips. We played them probably 50 to 100 times a piece. I don't know. It's more than 50 times. Should I play them again? And the response was, the libertarians and real conservatives out there, WorldNet Daily, Drudge Report, InfoWars, are racist. They're liars. It isn't in the bill. And Rachel Maddow and all these people would shake their fingers at the camera and say, it's racist. That Watson guy on MSNBC called me racist. All of them. CNN. It's a lie. They don't want you to have free health care. It's part of the racism. Well, no, we were reading the subsections on air. And then now Jonathan Gruber comes out in 8 different clips, there now are, and says, I met with the president behind closed doors. We had to come up with a way to hide the massive increases. We developed the plan. He picked my plan. Obama now in a new video that surfaced from C-SPAN years ago, told Gruber how great he is and how he literally took stuff for the plan from Gruber, as he says. Then Obama comes out and says, no, I didn't really know Gruber. I mean, he advised some, but wasn't part of the staff. And, I don't really know who he is, throwing him under the bus. And then we have Mitt Romney endorsing Gruber in 2006. Because remember, he helped come up with some of the earlier stuff. This is Massachusetts. This is MIT. Massachusetts Institute of Technology. So it's one filthy nest of foreign insurance companies and banks who wrote a plan where you pay tax money to them. So here's Romney praising Gruber at a 2006 Romney Care signing ceremony. If you want to vomit, here is that clip.
Let me mention as well the legislators and staff who worked with the president and the speaker. Names like Murray, Lees, Moore, Walrath, Mariano, and Hargraves may not be as familiar as ours sitting here on the very front row, but their work was every bit as dedicated and valuable. There were contributors from outside government, as you know. Jonathan Gruber at MIT devoted hours and hours to an essential econometric model. Jonathan Gruber at MIT.
Okay. Jonathan Gruber at MIT. Now, let's go to Gruber saying that he met with Obama to hatch the conspiracy. Here it is.
That's real cost control, that we know it'll work, go after this. Now, the problem is it's a political nightmare. And people say, no, you can't tax my benefits. It feels like. So what we did a lot in that room was think about, how could we make this work? And Obama's like, he's really a realistic guy. He's like, look, I can't just do this. He said, it's just not going to happen politically. The bill will not pass. How do we manage to get there through phase-ins and other things? And we talked about it. And he was just very interested in that topic. And once again, that ultimately became the genesis of what's called the Cadillac tax in the healthcare bill, which I think is...
All right, that's enough. Let's just move on from that. Now let's go to Obama a few years ago praising Jonathan Gruber and saying that he liberally or literally took it from him. And then we'll go to Obama saying he knows nothing and doesn't really know him. Here it is.
You've already drawn some of the brightest minds from academia and policy circles. Many of them I've stolen ideas from liberally. People ranging from Robert Gordon to Austin Goolsbee, John Gruber, my dear friend Jim Wallace here, who can talk, I think.
All right, that's enough. That's at the Brookings Institute, the president on C-SPAN. Now let's go to Obama a few days ago saying, oh, Gruber was just a side deal. He didn't really, who's he? Here it is.
Well, I wonder how you square that with your former advisor, Jonathan Gruber, claiming you were not transparent about the health law because, in his words, the American people, the voters, are stupid. Did you mislead Americans about the taxes, about keeping your plan, in order to get the bill passed?
No, I did not. I just heard about this. Yeah, I get well briefed before I come out here. The fact that some advisor who never worked on our staff.
Hey, Boomer! I learned in school today that 60% of our bodies are made of water. Good thing we have the Berkey system. It's the cleanest, best water ever. Mom says it's because the Berkey's filtration system cleans out the bad stuff and leaves only pure, delicious water. I know, right? You love it too. Yeah, I'm thirsty too. Let's go get some. Get Berkey clean water by calling 877-886-3653. That's 877-886-3653. Or visit GoBerkey.com.
Virtually anyone can hack your cell phone and track your calls, your texts, your emails, your every movement, but only if they can detect a signal. Stay one step ahead of hackers and Big Brother with a Block-It Pocket, a custom-made pocket infused with pure silver that creates a complete Faraday enclosure for your cell phone. For free shipping to the lower 48, visit blockitpocket.com or call 888-315-9618. blockitpocket.com, enhancing health and privacy.
Americans, you are being lied to. Does your skin crawl when a politician or a stock market guru say that we are in the midst of an economic recovery? According to top insiders, the largest financial meltdown in history is coming. You can prepare, but if you're living paycheck to paycheck, how do you find the cash? If you're fortunate enough to have retirement savings, it's probably not enough. And if it's in the market, it could be wiped out just like the last crash. But this time it will almost certainly be much worse. Precious metals are a great hedge, but they won't generate immediate cash flow to pay the bills. Learn the secret to creating cash flow and freedom. Get a free copy of my special report at babyboomerbackupplan.com or call 800-704-4117. That's 800-704-4117. Or visit babyboomerbackupplan.com. Traditional retirement may not be in the cards, but re-inspirement can change everything. babyboomerbackupplan.com.
The experts are clear. Sunlight, purified water, healthy non-GMO food, and having a good attitude is essential to a healthy immune system. But I go further with Super Nascent Iodine X2 from InfoWarsLife.com. 50% stronger than our original and revolutionary Nascent Iodine formula, coming from a deep earth crystal source that no other supplier has. Most other forms of iodine come from seaweed in areas plagued by Fukushima and other contaminants. Not our iodine. It comes from over 200 million-year-old crystal salt deposits and is tested and proven to be completely pure. Visit InfoWarsLife.com today. See the informational videos. Read the information they're compiled. And for a limited time, when you use promo code NOW at checkout, you get an additional 5% off the entire family of InfoWarsLife.com products. Secure your Survival Shield X2 today at InfoWarsLife.com or call toll-free 888-253-3139.
Don't take a cold or flu lying down. Stand up and fight back with Supernatural Silver. Supernatural Silver is a natural immune system booster that is highly effective against viruses, bacteria, and fungus. Supernatural Silver is perfect for daily use and can be taken orally or used topically to keep you protected from whatever comes your way. This new technology is hundreds of times more effective than colloidal or ionic silver and is supported by extensive research from over 300 clinical studies at universities and independent research facilities across the country. Supernatural Silver has an exceptionally long storage life and should be an essential part of your emergency preparedness. Don't be caught off guard. Give your body the support it needs to fight off deadly pathogens that are lurking everywhere. Stock up on Supernatural Silver and give yourself and your loved ones a fighting chance. Go to supernaturalsilver.com and use the promo code SILVER2014 for 20% off. That's supernaturalsilver.com. supernaturalsilver.com.
We are back, broadcasting worldwide from Austin, Texas. From the Infowars.com studios, I'm your host, Alex Jones. Coming up today, we have Mr. Dent, the economist, joining us. Former member of Bain Capital, speaking of Mitt Romney. Harry Dent couldn't join us last week because his mother died. That's why he canceled the show. Very sad. He'll be joining us today. And then we are going to have our reporters pop in at 1:30 from Ferguson, where the governor's declared a state of emergency, and they're bracing basically for criminal groups, race-based groups, to use legitimate demonstrations. It's the First Amendment, so you have a legitimate right to do that. They're going to use that as cover to carry out criminal activity, and the feds are clearly letting the organization of this be set up on Facebook and Twitter so they get more funding. It's very shameful. Not blaming the average rank-and-file Fed out there, because you can't do that, but clearly the Justice Department's down there stirring it up. They got caught with the Trayvon Martin deal, and maybe that'll change now that Eric Holder's out of there, or soon to be out of there, but I doubt it, because that's all the establishment has is playing us off against each other, and it's truly a saddening situation. So we'll give you a breakdown on that as it unfolds. Our reporters will be there. Huge news. Putin says West is provoking Russia into new Cold War as spies deported. U.S. diplomats and others kicked out. This is a major escalation. That's coming up at the start of the next segment, and we'll open the phones up and take your calls. But getting back to Obama, if you just tuned in, so he played Gruber saying he met behind closed doors and helped come up with a deception with Obama on the increases, on, quote, taxing benefits. Well, see, they act like you're going to get free stuff in this world, and then they try to hide that it's going to cost money, but it's not even free stuff. It's a giant screw job to foreign insurance companies. True socialist health care has all its own nightmares. But in a few countries, it's administered okay. Not in England, not in Canada, certainly, but a few Northern European countries do a pretty good job because you pay high taxes, but you get pretty good health care. This isn't socialist health care. It's fascist screw job. It's worse than socialism. By the way, those Northern European countries do euthanize people, though, so they do have the death panels. So it's bad in that respect. It's just, this is as bad as it gets. Nothing this horrible has ever been invented. It's just a giant robbery system. And then Obama, goes out and praises Gruber as one of the architects on video, and then gets asked by a reporter at an event about it. And we're going to play the whole clip that cut off by the break, so you can hear it in context. And he says, listen, this guy's not really one of our main advisors. Yes, he is. He came up with a whole bunch of it, and that's been written about for years. And Mitt Romney's praised him. And that's our problem, is that Boehner and Mitchell and others will act like they're going to repeal it now because of backlash, when for 2 years they've been saying we're not going to repeal it because they took money from the same interest for this, okay? So when you want to hate Obama, that's fine. What about John Boehner? What about Mitch McConnell? What about these Republican scumbags? I mean, look, if we can't repeal this whole thing and get some indictments, we're done. This is an outrageous takeover. My goodness, with them bragging how they're cheating us and scamming us. You want to live like they do at the VA, folks? And it's been bad for a while, but for the last 6-7 years, they put them on secret death list. I don't care if you're 25 or 75. You don't get knee surgery. You don't get lung surgery. You don't get brain surgery that's operable, that's almost 100% operable. You get pills to go home, and the brain tumor grows or the lung cancer grows, and you die. And every few days, you see one of the reports on CNN? It's like, oh, the vet that got shot and his spine severed, and, now he just wants to starve himself because he's so unhappy after all these years. It sounds sweet, but at the end of the report it goes, other vets are coming home and just want to die too. Will we let them? And the CNN voiceover guy breaks down at the, he goes, will we let them? I was watching that last night online. You see those reports every few days, just let them die. It's so beautiful. And I was watching whatever CBS is with the Bilderberg Group member, Charlie Rose, on it. And it was like a woman who didn't know why she had inflammation and why Lou Gehrig's and ALS was exploding. And she was 40 with a child and totally beautiful. And a few years later, is paralyzed from the neck down. And then raised money for Lou Gehrig's and raised money for ALS. It's everybody's getting it. And no discussion of, did you take a vaccine, honey? Because they're like, I'm reading the closed caption when I'm on the elliptical. And I'm thinking, inflammation on the brain, chronic inflammation. They just call it Alzheimer's, ALS if you're young, whatever. They got a bunch of different neurological spectrums that they put out. And I said, inflammation on the brain. And they go, They show CAT scans and go, we don't know why all these people show inflammation on the brain now. MSG, GMO, vaccines, we know exactly in the studies what's doing it. But nobody's going to tell people on CBS News it's the vaccine. I bet money that woman I was watching this morning, I bet money she gets a flu shot every year. I bet money. I bet my right arm.